What makes it extremely difficult to recognize a covert narcissist is that they do not give off any signs like an overt narcissist does. They do not come across as grandiose beings who feel entitled to everything. Quite the opposite, they may come across as kind, compassionate, giving souls who are deeply empathetic towards your pain, who want to help you, who want to save you. You may feel like there is depth to them and they're okay with being vulnerable, which is everything but narcissism, isn't it? But that is nothing but a facade. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Being the same beast in a different form, they show some signs of their subtle narcissism, which, if detected, can save you from a lot of pain and agony. That is what we are going to talk about in today's episode. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional and a psychologist. Today's topic is 5 least known signs of a covert narcissist. If that interests you and you are eager to find out what these signs are, please make sure to subscribe to my channel before we get started, because your subscription can help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Number 1, phone calls with the narcissist feel very weird. How? Well, they may be talking to you and you may feel like, oh, they're genuinely interested in knowing how your day was, or they're truly listening. But all of a sudden, you will hear they're talking to somebody else and you'll feel like it's an act. It's like they change their voice in that minute, their demeanor shifts, they become an entirely different person than the person who was talking to you. And you will be left on hold indefinitely. You'll be waiting and waiting and waiting, hoping that they will come back and they'll remember they were talking to you, but they won't come back. And all of a sudden, it's like they shift again and start talking to you. They might apologize, but would want you to act like nothing happened. What does this tell us? This tells us that they are predatory in nature. What matters in the moment is where the focus will go, and that you are not that important. They make you think you matter, but you do not actually matter. What matters is the supply, and they will run towards the source from which it is coming. They won't acknowledge your feelings whatsoever. If you react, if you say, well, I felt disrespected, they'll say, or they'll suggest that you're being oversensitive or it's not that big of a deal. Here is a small disclaimer though. People with ADHD might show this kind of behavior because they're easily distracted. And that's the reason why you have to look at the bigger picture and consider other traits that I'll talk about in this episode, and not only just this one, to know if you're dealing with a covert narcissist or not. Number 2, when you share a happy news with them, they will get distracted and start talking to somebody else. They'll start talking to their dog. Why? Because it's not about them. Or what they will do is they'll shift the energy state of the room, and it will feel quite heavy because all of a sudden they will have so many problems to recount, and your happiness in minutes will diminish away without knowing what exactly happened. Confusion is the key. If you feel confused with a person constantly and you're not able to know what exactly is going on, that is the biggest indicator of dealing with a covert narcissist. They can't tolerate your happiness because it's not because of them or for them. They will do everything but acknowledge your happiness or acknowledge your achievement. They will instantly guilt trip you, make you feel really bad for feeling happy, and you wouldn't even know, like, why am I feeling so guilty? This is something that I worked really hard for. I got it because I deserved it. It has nothing to do with this person, but you will feel guilty. You'll feel sad for them. I remember one of my friends once got a job, and he instantly shared the news with us, with my family. And my mother, being a covert narcissist, all of a sudden started crying. We were all shocked, like, what the hell? Why are you crying? You should be happy. He is happy. He was a very traumatized person, and it was a huge thing for him. She stole away his happiness and started talking about something that was bothering her. That is covert narcissism. Sign number 3, you catch them making fun of you, laughing at you. When you are having an interaction face to face with a narcissist, subtly they devalue you, put you down, make expressions that kind of tell you that they are invalidating your experience, or they are acting like, oh, what's this? Oh, come on. I've got things bigger than what you're showing me. This, this has no value. They don't say it, but they suggest it. How? Like, for example, you may talk about your salary or something else. They won't say anything, but there will be a smirk on their face. A smirk, an expression that will tell you they don't approve it. You may also secretly catch them laughing at you because they think you're a fool, you're a stupid, naive person who does not actually know what's going on. They have that smirk, that smile on their face constantly, as if telling you, gotcha. I know what I'm doing to you, and you're eating it up. You're believing in my victimhood. I have won. My victimhood must be real. This is what I have to do to target people. I mean, they do not exactly think this way, but this is like an emotional state they rejoice. But laughing at you, making weird facial expressions to guilt trip you, to tell you you're worth nothing or what you have achieved, oh, it's equivalent to nothing, it's nowhere comparable to what they have done, is covert narcissism. It may feel like they are your well-wishers, but they are your biggest enemies. Sign number 4. They listen, but they do not actually listen to know. They listen to absorb information. Why? Because they're predators, and that's why I call this listening predatory listening. Narcissists do not have a habit of listening. They only want to talk because they love how their voice sounds. They love to lecture. But this type of a narcissist, they'll just look at you and they'll make that intense eye contact, which we will talk about in number 5, and then listen. And you will feel like, oh, this is a person who genuinely cares. And they'll nod their head, they'll make nice gestures, they'll make you feel connected. They lift you only to drop you from way up there. And when you will crash, it will break all your bones. You know what I'm talking about. It hurts a lot when you see a covert narcissist changing their colors. When you feel the devaluation they put you through. They listen to use that information against you, which is why you should give them a little bit of fuel, a little bit of ammo. Let's say talk about a past painful event which is kind of insignificant, wouldn't hurt you a lot if they were to use it against you, and see what they do with it. If you suspect them to be a narcissist or a covert narcissist, they will pretend to help and then later talk about how that issue is the reason behind all the relational issues and make it about you so that they can escape responsibility. Number 5 and the last one, a covert narcissist will gently stare into your soul. They maintain intense eye contact continuously to make you feel seen. And there's some kind of aura to their eyes, some kind of energy that befools you, that makes you believe that this is a spiritual being that I'm dealing with. And if it is a spiritual narcissist, may God save you. That is an entirely different type of a covert narcissist who causes extreme form of trauma. I have talked about that. If you want to watch an entire episode on spiritual narcissism, click the I button above. While you may think they're making eye contact or constantly looking at you to know you, or they're interested in you, they are actually predatorily reading you, trying to know what your buttons are, how they can be pushed, and what emotions can be weaponized against you. They're scanning you inside out like a robot would if they were to know what's going on in your body. There's no empathetic, humanistic side to a covert narcissist that they would tap into when maintaining that eye contact. There is no soul within they can access to connect with your soul. It's a demonic spirit. I leave it on you if you want to understand that figuratively or literally. There is a spirit within them that is interacting with you through their eyes. A covert narcissist would maintain eye contact or look at you to make you feel touched. That's what they want you to believe so that they can withhold all the affection later. It's such a mind game. They use plausible deniability a lot as well, which is basically doing something, but you have no proof for it. For example, they may put you down quite subtly. Hidden mixed compliments. They may compliment your dress, but then they would say something about your weight. It's like being fed poison wrapped in honey. It harms you, but it feels sweet. You feel the impact, yet you do not know where it came from and why it is there. That is how it feels with a narcissist. All in all, what I can say is if you feel inferior, frustrated, drained, confused, diminished, anxious, and afraid all the time around a person, you are highly likely to be dealing with a covert, vulnerable victim type of a narcissist. With that, let's bring this episode to an end. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you on the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.